Because of course there's a time-traveling ball pit. Generic Control in the Dr. Goose. I'm here back with another Game Theory FNAF video. Today we have FNAF The Secret Crimes of 1985, which was apparently the first party. I have no idea what to expect with this episode. You can check out my reaction to last week's episode, which was the Cult of Glitchtrap, where we found out about Vanny's existence. I'll leave my reaction to that right up there. Also, give a link down below in the description. Also, going to be in a playlist on my channel with all of my other Game Theory FNAF videos. Go in chronological order if you want to check those out. If you want to start all the way from the very beginning and go all the way to now. I know he actually just dropped a new FNAF Game Theory video a couple of days ago. People were asking about react to that. I'm going in order. I will get to it eventually. There might actually be another one by the time I get to that because we still have quite a ways to go. And if you're excited for these videos, I hope that you are subscribed so you don't miss future videos. My goal for this year is to hit 100,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm gonna get all the help I can get. Even if I had a year like last year, I would fall short. So I need to be even more. I need even more this year, and it would just be a crazy milestone to hit. So if you enjoyed the videos and you want to come back for more, I would greatly appreciate it. Only if you enjoyed the videos though. You don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. You can become a patron, get the videos there early for $3 a month, support me and allow me to make all these videos. I do all the recording, all the editing every single time though, and I read every single comment. For the month of December, I did 100 videos. I read every single comment section for every single comment section for 100 videos, on top of having to record all those videos, edit those videos, and I live streamed I think 18 times that month. Yeah, I live streamed 18 times on that month and also did 100 videos all by myself. It's absolutely insane, but I'm excited to jump into this video. I hope you are too. Let's go ahead and get on into it.
Race you to the ball pit? Hey, that's no fair. I haven't got my shoes off yet.
Do you need shoes off in a ball pit? Well, I'm never going to the ball pit again.
Ozzy? Ozzy? Oz?
Wait,
Ozzy?
wait, what?
Ozzy! Hello,
Okay,
Internet.
that
Welcome
is
to Game Theory.
that is
The start
aquarium
to what will
gravel.
undoubtedly be a very FNAFy new year.
Wait,
because
is
everyone
it?
else in the games industry is concentrated on
I
new
saw they
consoles
tweeted something.
with all of the teraflops and none of the actual
Teraflops.
games. Five Nights at Freddy's is over here in the corner doing its own thing and releasing, you know, exciting and interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Last year's Help Wanted was a fantastic
saw-
addition to the series, which keeps
I saw the
updating
post
itself with new and exciting lore
on Twitter
all the
the other
time.
day.
There's that new 80s inspired game coming out later this year. The
Which
AR
was
game
delayed.
is something
Wait, that was
we should probably talk
Markiplier.
about at some point, since apparently that also has lore implications. And most interestingly of all, we have ourselves the rollout of a new book series, Fazbear
more books.
Frights. The first one released after Christmas, and before
Into
the
the
end of
Pit?
this year, there'll be a total of, let me check my notes.
God, there-
Holy mother of energy.
there's a time-traveling ball pit,
5
isn't there?
installments in a new book series in a year? Ugh.
That's a
Looks
lot of
like
writing.
Scott's gone back to his roots of just mass releasing stuff. It's like he saw the Netflix model of binge watching a show and was like, I want
Maybe it's
that,
easier to make
but
a
for
book.
video games and apparently books. Jeez, if only mass dropped lore reveals for us to binge
Nope.
understand.
Where's the fun in
we'd all
that?
be happier for it. Anyway, the reason I
Nah.
call these books out is that first
That's
off,
creepy.
they're just really good. You ever read the Goosebumps books?
Nope.
I definitely did. Every
Yeah, I bet you did.
single one. Night of
That's
the Living
creepy.
Dummy and Ghost Next
I
Door
remember that one.
every day, fam. Well, Fazbear Frights is just a modern version of those, with each book containing 3 short horror stories all set within the FNAF universe. And true to them
Really?
being a part of the franchise, they aren't afraid to get super bleak. Today's episode is going to go into
books
detail
have,
for the first
like,
3, so if
ratings?
you want to read them blind,
Like age
consider
ratings?
this your spoiler warning. Anyway, to give
Is
you
there a
sense of
mature
tone,
audience?
one
Like, you have to
story
show an
ends
ID
with
for a
girl
book?
finding her severed body parts hidden away in plastic bags, only to then realize that she herself has been piece by piece replaced with a robotic body.
Oh,
In another,
cool.
a teenage girl's imprisoned and forced to choose the way in which she is gonna die, with options ranging from boiling alive to electrocution to decapitation. She chooses the
dude.
decap.
Yeah, that's
tab.
probably the
Dear
best
FNAF
one.
Tubers, I know we were all super worried about Kappa coming in and striking us down, but when we're covering stories like these, I think
Yeah.
we're pretty darn safe.
Oh,
But of
because
course,
they thought
I
it
wouldn't
was,
be talking
like,
about all this
a
on
children's
Game Theory
game.
if it wasn't for the lore.
Yeah.
These aren't just random
Is that
horror
an ear
stories. Each one
on the
is
table?
connected back to characters and locations that we know from the original games. The girl who makes a wish to be beautiful and then is unknowingly hacked to pieces. Well, the fairy godmother doing the hacking is a red pigtailed clown robot with green eyes.
maybe.
Does that description sound familiar to anyone? What about the girl who opts for decapitation? Well, I mentioned that she's imprisoned. What I left out was that she's actually trapped in the stomach of a white and pink bear with a twisted
get
sense
to
of humor
pick?
and a thirst for blood.
Oh,
and if all that's too
wait.
subtle for you, well,
Let's
the first
spin the
story
wheel. Wait,
outright
why'd you
has a
get to
guy
choose?
in a golden bunny suit taking us to see 6 murdered kids in the back of a Freddy's Pizzeria in the year 1985. alive. Pretty darn direct, but
That's
more on that later.
weird.
These stories matter because they're giving us more information about how the FNAF universe operates, sometimes in very direct ways, like giving us the exact number of murder victims and the dates of their death, and sometimes in more indirect ways, by showing us that this is a canon where a girl can be rebuilt day by day, piece by piece as a human-robot hybrid,
Somehow.
so realistic that no one, not even herself, realizes.
Apparently that happened to me,
That is what we're covering
according to the
today.
comments.
What these stories show us about the FNAF universe, what they confirm, and also what important new details they unlock. Plus, they open up a
I don't
big
like that eye.
theory about the games.
Hello.
That I actually got wrong late last year, and I'm very excited about now. So with all that said,
What?
reader beware, you're in for a scare.
Please don't.
Oh, and for those of you who've dismissed the stories as non-canon,
They
I
are.
won't be too
I
quick
think
to
they
judge
are,
these
aren't they?
books.
They are
Each
canon.
One of them has this in its official description. Quote, in this volume, horror master Scott Cawthon spins 3 sinister novella-length stories from different corners of his series' canon. End quote.
Oh.
Different corners of the canon, you
Saying
say.
that's
Sounds to
canon.
me like some stories are going to be more aligned with the trilogy of books, some more so with the canon of the games, but still, all of them
canon.
existing within the canon itself. So absolutely worth our time to investigate.
Yeah.
The first story
Which
actually has
probably
a lot
sells
to
more
cover,
books.
so I'm gonna just save that one for last.
Might
and
be
instead
easy to-
start with the second.
probably easier to
Be
write a book than
beautiful.
make a
In
game.
it, Sarah, a 14-year-old girl, rescues a red pig-tailed clown animatronic from the trunk of a car that she finds in a scrapyard. Grateful to be
Why
saved,
were you in a
the robot,
scrapyard?
calls herself Eleanor, but is probably better described as
Ooh,
Giraffe Baby.
without
based
the E
on
on the
cut
end, you're asking for
illustrations from the
copyright.
book, says that she'll grant any wish. Sarah wishes to be beautiful, and Baby, like a twisted fairy godmother, makes it happen by putting Sarah to sleep every night and hacking off sections of her body while she's unconscious, replacing them with robotic
Does she not wake
junk.
up and realize
Quote,
that?
Sarah
Oh,
looked to the
replaced it.
floor.
Okay.
One bag contained a human leg, another a human arm. Blood pooled in the bottoms of the bags, but the limbs had been severed neatly, as if in a surgical amputation. Another bag
how did
stuffed
Baby
with
know how to do
bloody
that?
snake-like entrails.
Is this what
appeared to be a
ChatGPT is gonna
liver
turn into one
slid
day?
From the cabinet's shelf and landed on the floor with a wet splat. Hey, if pizzerias never work out for you, baby, Beverly Hills Plastic Surgeon is a great
Yeah,
medical
literally.
career. The only stipulation is that Sarah must wear a special necklace to keep the illusion alive. When the necklace inevitably
Oh,
falls
is that like
off,
the sound
Sarah's
disc?
new junk body is exposed and falls apart. She dies,
What?
surrounded by her own severed body parts as she's forced to watch Baby walk out into the world having stolen her old look and identity.
Oh.
Quote again, I made your wish come true, Sarah. And in return, Eleanor laughed again. She jerked and shook, her silver finish turning the pinkish shade of Caucasian skin. In a matter of moments, she was a dead ringer for Sarah. Well,
Wait, stole her
certainly
body?
made my wishes come true. Great story to read to the kids
That's
at night, by the way. Good night.
terrifying
sleep tight,
to
don't
think
let
about.
the shape-shifting robots slice off your face and steal it. Anyway,
Literally.
as I mentioned before, Sarah's extreme makeover confirms
Wait a
that
minute,
in the
face is
FNAF
getting cut
canon,
off?
humans can be partly or fully robotic without ever
help
knowing
wanted?
it. We've seen it before in the original trilogy of books, where the fourth closet revealed that protagonist Charlie was a highly advanced robot. and we're
Charlie?
seeing
Isn't
it
that
again
Charlotte or
happen
something?
Here, a normal human
The
Sarah
puppet?
unknowingly being remade into a robot. The fact that this is now a recurring element of the series goes to support
body
the idea
stealing.
that Michael, the crying child of FNAF 4, after getting bitten, could have been put back together in a much more literal way than many of
Literally.
us were expecting all those years ago. He was put together as a machine.
But why do all
He grew
this?
up without knowing it and was only able to figure it all out once he
Science?
miraculously survived being scooped at the end of Sister Location.
But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not.
Does this little short story
Fair.
outright confirm any of it?
Into
Oh,
the bit.
certainly not. But third time is a charm, Michael. The third story about a girl named Millie trapped inside Funtime Freddy's stomach doesn't really tell us a whole lot. But instead,
Okay.
it just confirms what we already suspected: that the Funtime robots were designed to
To
be large
capture.
enough to capture kids and either kill them
makes
off
sense.
or transport them to underground testing
And ask them how they
facilities.
wanna
Moving on
die.
to the end of the book, there's a little teaser, like a Marvel movie, but with 100% less Nick Fury, where we get a preview of a seemingly new monster.
Innard.
Two cops are discussing a hooded figure raiding the neighborhood's dumpsters. They call it the Stitchwraith. Quote,
That's
"The
like actually a
Stitchwraith,"
sick
witnesses said,
name.
was a shrouded figure in some sort of cloak. The detective squinted at a
Dude,
picture
that is such a
showed
cool
the figure
name.
pulling what seemed to be a mannequin's torso from the dumpster. The face
Who just throws a
wasn't
mannequin away?
face. Not a human face, anyway. It looked more like a mask. The face was
Ew.
round, and its features
Innard.
were drawn onto the curved white surface. It had dark eyes, one of which
Where
looked
are these
blackened.
pictures coming
Were
from?
those blood stains around the mouth? End quote. To me, the Stitchwraith is just a cooler name for Ennard. I mean, you
That's
got
a
yourself a
sick
creature that has a
name.
white mask with a missing blacked out eye, sharp, potentially bloody teeth, and a lurching walk. Definitely similar to the way that he's shown in the games. Ennard's obsession with trash would also be appropriate for the Stitchwraith. I mean, it's just a mass of wires. It needs something like a mannequin torso to give it
cover.
form. We actually see
yeah.
the same thing with Scrap Baby's
Would it just
design
kinda be like
for
a
FNAF
pile?
6. Between games, she clearly assimilated any and all garbage into her form to be more passable and human. To me, I gotta be honest, I just think the Stitchwraith story is cool because it shows the outside world's reaction to the Freddy creatures that we all know. It starts to show what happened to him after the events of the game.
I want to see what people thought about
For the story
Michael.
after
That is
the
Michael,
credits
right?
finished
Pretty sure
rolling.
that's
To
Michael.
know that Ennard,
Purple
after
guy.
he escapes from Sister Location, to the in-universe people going about their daily lives is just this urban legend named the Stitchwraith.
Such a
That's
cool
just pretty
name.
interesting to me. I think it's fun. Anyway, it's also worth noting here that the teaser attributes 5 dead bodies to Ennard. Quote, five withered bodies with eyes that bled black down the sides of the face. End quote. So it appears that Ennard, after leaving Michael's body, tried to skin suit
Michael.
5 or so other people. Notice
Why-
that it says withered
have you heard about
bodies. These
them?
are bodies that have clearly decayed, just like we saw with Michael's at the end of Sister Location.
So it just jumps
And
from
above
body to
that,
body.
Them crying
Like
black.
body
It's
stealing.
just the body leaking oil as Ennard needs to go and find another skin suit to possess.
Well,
That's
why?
pretty much everything
Why do you
else.
do
But
this?
what I really want to focus on now and in a follow-up mini theory is the first
Man, I
story
be mini
of this
anymore.
bunch. The story where the book gets its name, Into the Pit. In it, a video game-loving, anime-obsessed 10-year-old boy named Oswald is forced to spend most of
Oh,
his
that kid
summer
definitely
in an
got
old,
bullied.
run-down restaurant named Jeff's Pizza. One day, wanting to pull a prank on his father, he finds himself in a,
What's a-
wait
in
for
a
this,
prank?
time-traveling ball pit.
Time-traveling
Takes us to
ball pit.
1985,
Here it is.
The day where 6 murders have just happened at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Quote, when the smell of pizza hit Oswald's nose, he understood. He was still in Jeff's Pizza, or more
Jeff's
accurately,
Pizza.
what Jeff's Pizza had been before Jeff took over. The ball pit was new and not roped off. On the wall was a mural of the same characters performing on stage.
Brown
the brown
bear,
bear, the
blue
blue
rabbit.
rabbit, and the bird girl. Below their faces were the words Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
I'm
He
going
even
back
caught
in the
sight of
ball
a
pit
calendar hanging
to a
in an
different
open office
time.
that helped him pinpoint the date, 1985. End quote. Way to take the mystery out of it there, guys. I was all ready to cross-reference all the arcade cabinets that you saw in the pizzeria.
Oh, did he
allusions
describe them?
To the Smurfs and other popular media at the time to find the date, but you just
But-
had to go and take that all away from me.
Made it
Thanks
easy.
for saving me the research, I guess. But
Yeah.
no thanks for taking away my deserving YouTube watch minutes. And here's the first big mind blow of this
Watch
big
minutes are
series.
crazy.
First, because I think there are actually 2 in this one story. In this story, we get ourselves clear, indisputable evidence that in 1985, 6 kids were killed. Quote, the rabbit stopped in front of a door with a sign reading party room. Half a dozen kids, none of them older than Oswald, their lifeless bodies propped into sitting positions, their legs stretched out in front of them. They were all wearing Freddy Fazbear birthday party hats. Oswald couldn't
they're all
tell
matching.
how they died, but he knew the rabbit was responsible for it.
Fair.
That the rabbit had wanted him to see his handiwork. End quote. On one hand, it's incredible
Why didn't the rabbit kill
to
him?
finally get ourselves a date and a firm number of dead children.
Yeah, I
Get
mean,
ready to change your Facebook status because it is
complicated.
You see,
It is.
1985 has never once been an
Been
important
mentioned?
date in the series.
Oh.
1983?
And
Absolutely,
87?
that's FNAF 4. 1987? You betcha, that's FNAF 2. We've got ourselves 80s representation everywhere. Mullets
I was
and
around for
oingo
none of it.
boingo for days, but never, not once has there ever been a mention of 1985.
Also,
and
yeah,
while it might be easy
the
to
George
immediately
Orwell
write that
book
off
is
as a
something
typo
different.
or some non-canon event,
it wasn't
definitely not.
yeah.
Far from it. In fact, for as wacko as it seems, this time-traveling ball pit from a short story and a spin-off series of books
There's
takes
a-
Oswald back to a
I guess it
pizzeria
makes
that
sense.
we've never seen before, but one that we have absolutely known to have existed since the second game in this series. As proof, let me pull
People
up a clip
talked
from
about
my
this,
second
but it's
ever
true.
episode on FNAF. Back
2014.
when Purple Guy was actually
It's
Phone Guy.
in my playlist
Those
of my
were the days.
reactions.
Every way to Sunday, this game is a prequel. Posters everywhere in Five Nights 2 welcome you to this new location, implying that there was another Freddy Fazbear's Pizza somewhere before this one. Additionally, the Phone Guy makes reference to it on night 1, mentioning the old location and how
Yeah.
it was left to rot. So let me recap. There's the restaurant from
Is
the
this showing
first
a clip
game, which
from
is
the
last
previous
in the
video?
timeline. The one that you're currently working at in 1987 in Five Nights 2, an older location of Freddy Fazbear's
and then they
Pizzeria
added
left to rot,
1985.
and the original Fredbear's
Which
Diner.
was the
In
diner,
FNAF
yep.
2, we're presented with newspaper clippings that outright says that this location is having a grand reopening. But we knew even way back then, 5 years ago, that the events of FNAF 1 took place after FNAF 2. It was a prequel sequel, so there had to have been a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that existed prior to FNAF 2 that got the franchise shut down in the first place.
To reopen
We also know
for
that
the second.
It wasn't
It wasn't the
Fredbear's
diner, yeah.
because Phone Guy calls that restaurant out separately.
Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. We're going to try to contact the original restaurant owner. I think the name of the place was Fredbear's Family Diner or something like that.
So in this one random little scene from
It
Fazbear Frights,
confirms that it
uncover
wasn't that.
a pivotal piece of
So
the
this was in
timeline that's
between,
been
yep.
missing for the last 5 years. A mystery
That's wild,
pizzeria
but we knew it
that's been gone
existed.
since the very beginning of this franchise. A pizzeria that looks to be home to the first 6 actual murders of the Fazbear story. In fact, I can actually do you one better.
Crazy.
I believe this to be the 6 dead kids that we end up reuniting in the Happiest Day minigame from FNAF 3. Notice that detail about all of them wearing
party hats, yeah.
These were kids all taken from the same party. And the Happiest Day minigame
The
from
80s
FNAF
were
3
crazy.
has us reuniting them to finally finish the birthday party that got prematurely and gruesomely cut short. This is huge information here, guys. However,
This is a pretty big
true to
video.
form, as it always is with this story, not everything lines up. With this being chronologically the earliest set of murders that we see at a pizzeria set before 1987, then
Yep.
we should be seeing the animatronics get possessed.
Get out of here.
It's something that we've never actually seen in the games. This should be the missing children's incident, where the victims' bodies are
But
shoved
is
into
it?
the suits, never to be found. But it's clearly not. The book makes it very obvious that these bodies were clearly out and visible.
But yeah, they
But
weren't
again,
stuffed in
there
a
were
body,
noises,
or
but
the
not
suit.
the usual ones of Freddy Fazbear's. Screams, crying children, yells for help, chaos.
Where do
Oswald's
people not
stomach
miss
and
these
knots
children,
move
or do they try
through
to
the
replace
crowd,
them?
Past crying mothers running with their toddlers in their arms, past dads grasping children's hands and leading them swiftly towards the exit, their faces masks of shock. End quote. The bunny
Yep, sounds
laid
about
out
right.
all his victims for everyone to see. A far cry from the
Why?
bodies being shoved into the suits and then not being discovered
Yeah.
for years on end. Hence the missing children's incident.
Yeah, they're
we
not
know the
missing
missing
anymore.
children's incident is most likely where the animatronics got possessed because, you know, their bodies are in the suits along with the metal. And so the metal and the souls
Yeah,
fuse
then they
together to
get-
create
get-
living animatronics, roll into FNAF 2 1987.
The
Oh
special
my gosh,
metal.
look, there's living animatronics roaming around this pizzeria. Oh, and we installed security devices just because we know a murderer came around the last time. There's a reason I stopped talking about the timeline of these things. Additionally, there are
Because
6
it's
children dead.
always
The missing
changing.
children's incident only had itself 5. That, in and of itself, would be okay, right? Since
Yeah.
FNAF 6 children has always been the magic number. It's weird to mention a
Tempter.
magic number when talking about murdered children, but you know what? This series desensitizes you
It's
to a
about
lot.
right.
Our list is Susie, Fritz, Gabriel, Jeremy, Cassidy, and Charlotte. The
And
core
Charlotte
4
is
animatronics, Golden
the
Freddy,
puppet.
and the puppet. 6. The problem is, Charlotte the puppet always seems to have a separate death outside of the building.
that was like the
outside of
diner,
realm of
wasn't
the
it?
Other 5 children. So having
Isn't
her
that where
suddenly
Charlotte
lined
died?
up with all the rest of the kids at the same time just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe I just need to think on it more because everything else lines up. We have ourselves a golden bunny leading kids down a hallway
Which
into a
makes
back
sense.
room, just like those original newspaper clippings described. He's also very clearly visible, which means he'd likely be taken into custody.
Could that be
Again, just
Glitchtrap?
like those original newspaper clippings describe. As it always is with the series, so many items line up, but there's just 1 or 2 little
Which
details, little
are-
sticking points that make the pieces fit a little awkwardly. I honestly think, though, that this isn't the last time that we're going to be seeing this pizzeria.
No, it's
Remember
definitely
earlier
not.
when I
And
mentioned
the
that
ball
new
pit.
FNAF game that's coming out in
Because of
2020,
course there's a
little bit
time
later
traveling
this
ball
year,
pit.
probably titled Into Madness. Well, that one is set in a mall with a very 80s theme. Again,
Laser
we've been
tag,
talking about the Rockstar
Fazbear
animatronics
pizza.
for a couple episodes now, and that's the one where they get revealed. It wouldn't be surprising for me to see that game be the one where we finally step foot inside the first ever Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria and witness all the events that Oswald just saw for ourselves. So there you have it, my friends. The first major and a couple
the
of minor
second
reveals
location,
that
I
this
guess.
installment had in store for us. However, there is one final mystery that this story might help us solve.
Where'd
Not
the ball pit
only
come
does it
from?
give us a new set of murders to think about, crimes that are now chronologically the earliest that we see in the timeline, but also Into the Pit may just be giving us the identity of the person behind all of this. I don't mean behind the child murders. I mean
Yeah,
the
it's-
mystery
that's
of the
Glitchtrap.
man behind the games. What do I mean by that? And what
Scott?
evidence do I have to prove it? Well, that, my friends, is a theory unto itself for next week.
Next
so
week,
in the meantime,
which it'll be out next week for me. I'll be sharing my
most
Pokemon White
importantly,
2
remember,
Nuzlocke today.
It's all just a theory.
I'm also posting on my gaming
A
channel,
game
like Friday or
theory.
Saturday,
Thanks
if you
for
missed the
sticking
live
around
stream.
to the end. I know these FNAF episodes tend to dive pretty deep
That
sometimes.
very
but
deep.
even
This one
after
went
all
real
the games
far.
and books and shades of purple, I gotta say I still find them fun. That said, if this episode
Animations
leaves you
and
wanting
stuff
more,
looks
well,
so
you can always
good.
dive into
It's
the
come a
books
long
themselves
way.
with the help of today's sponsor,
Audible,
Audible.com.
okay.
Because Audible is an audiobook service. You can literally
Dude.
play FNAF games while you
Like,
listen
these
to the
animations
latest
and
FNAF
stuff look
books
so
in the
clean, like
series.
transitions.
It's like the ultimate fun zone for your mind. Audible has an awesome selection of FNAF books
My
just waiting
friend,
for you to listen.
I counted up
including
how
that
many
brand new
audiobooks
Fazbear Frights
he has
series.
bought.
Look into the pit.
He
It is
spent
right there,
thousands
ready
of
to
dollars on
tickle your
audiobooks.
eardrums for free during
Like,
a
he
trial
talks
month
about
with
audiobooks
Audible. Using
all the
the
time.
link audible.com/matpat.
I think he said he owned like over
or
200
heck, if you're on a
audiobooks,
mobile
and this was
device, text
years ago.
MATPAT, M-A-T-P-A-T, to 500-500. You can also already pre-order Fetch, book 2 of the
Oh, so the
Fazbear
second one
Frights
hasn't even
series
come
in
out?
preparation
Oh.
for even more animatronic
Oh, I'm
spooky
sure he
events. That
went
one's
even
coming out
crazier
as
with
soon as
those.
March, which is just incredibly soon. I told you he's rolling these
6
things out
hours.
at a fast pace. And again, if you're tired of FNAF, but you still want some
Tired of
creepy
FNAF?
YA
Who could be tired of
genre
FNAF?
goodness, well then I'd highly recommend diving into Audible's library of Goosebumps titles. I told you earlier, but
Goosebumps.
I absolutely devoured these things as a kid.
I
and
never
teenager.
read
And
one as
even
a
now
kid.
as an adult, they
I remember
hold up
elementary school
really
seeing them.
well as fun, easy books to listen to.
I remember
when
the
you're not
covers
looking
were
to
sick,
rack your
though.
brain. So Audible has all the classic Goosebumps I loved growing up,
Are they really?
including the two I mentioned earlier, Night of the Living Dummy, So Creepy, and Say Cheese and Die. I mean, these things are classics. So if you've read them already and you want a nostalgia hit, boom, Audible's got you
I
covered.
have
If
never
you've
read any of
never
them.
read Goosebumps before and you like FNAF, you are gonna love this series.
Define
I
like
guarantee
FNAF.
it. So get going. Your
I
first
love
month
the
is free and
lore.
includes any
Playing
free
scary
audiobook of
games,
your choice,
however.
plus 2 Audible originals. Audible works on any connected devices, so it goes
that's
with
different-
you from
that's a
work to school,
different
to the
kind of,
car, to
like,
your
I
local
think-
time-traveling ball.
Well, next week we're gonna have the faceless puppet master and the puppets in the thumbnail, so I don't even want to look at that. This was a crazy video. We talked about the time traveling ball pit. We finally figured out about the second ever Fazbear location. The books, there's gonna be so many of those books, which that was actually a really good Audible ad read, because Audible talking about books and how important the books are for this, and then Audible talking about Goosebumps. That was a very perfect way to put at like have the sponsor for that video perfectly fit in that video. I don't know if that was necessarily intentional or not, because most of the time they do the videos and then they get a sponsor for it afterwards. But I have no idea if maybe it just worked that perfectly. Maybe we went to Audible and said, "Hey, this episode talks a lot about books. You wanna throw some bread?" Maybe. I have no idea. This episode was insane. I look forward to reading every single one of your comments down in the comment section. Like I said, I'll be live streaming today at 5 p.m. over on Twitch playing my Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke. It's going to be, believe the second part? Is it? No, second or third? No, this will be my third. No, wait. It might actually be my second. Yeah, that's actually going to be my second live stream of my Pokemon White 2 Nuzlocke. My days are all over the place. I'm recording this video Monday at 11-12 p.m. at night. Usually I record videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and usually I record this video on Saturday, but life's been crazy. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully made your day a tiny little better. But until next video, take care and keep the music.
We were playing as soldiers, making soldiers.